What's up everyone, Jeff Miller here, Pinball Pimp. On today's episode, we're going to be pimping out a 1999 Sega South Park machine. Now this machine belongs to a customer of mine, and I haven't touched it in 10 years when I did a small little shop job on it. And now he's having some problems and he wants to update it. So we're gonna do color LEDs, colored rubbers, color display, speaker light kit, and some inner art blades. But he's having some major problems where the machine won't start up. So it's stuck on the menu system. I'm gonna have to install a new display driver board to get everything working so I can get into everything. He also lost the keys in the front door, so I'm gonna have to drill out the lock so I can get the inside keys to get into the head. So let's tackle this machine and make it something spectacular. All right, first thing up is to drill out this coin door so I can get the keys inside, which gets in the lock in the head to look at the electronics. I've probably drilled out 50 coin doors in my day from people who lost the keys. You have to be real careful because that drill bit will slip out of that lock and scratch the hell out of your coin door. And just like that, a brand new coin door lock installed. So back 10 years ago, his battery pack was leaking, so I did a remote battery pack to eliminate that. But I guess in the meantime, down here in the display driver board, this ribbon cable, I noticed down on these plugs, there was some oxidation. So it must have gotten down in the board and it doesn't work anymore. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and replace that. Then we can get into the menu system and start tackling this project. You need to be careful when removing these chips that have all the graphic information on them, since you have to use them again. It's very easy to bend these little feet and possibly break them off. I've reinstalled the old chip back into the new board and got everything screwed back together. And now we have a display so I can see what I'm doing when it comes to changing the LEDs. All right, first up is the colored LEDs on the insert, so let's lift this Playfield up and get these things installed. So I'm going into the menu system to diagnostics, then over to lamps and to the single lamp test mode. That way a single lamp blinks on the playfield and I know which one to change. All right, time to swap out all these 24-year-old incandescent bulbs with colored LEDs. I have to advance the menu system one bulb at a time and do this about 100 times before I finish the job. Man, this job would be twice as easy if my hands were about half as big as what they are. It's kind of tough getting your grubby paws in some of these tight spaces. When I was installing all the colored bulbs in the inserts, I noticed that the subway was really cloudy and kind of dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all these screws and get this all cleaned up nice and shiny before I put the playfield back down. All right, it's much better than it was. The plastic itself is actually cloudy, so that's about all I can do to it. All right, now that I got all the color LED bulbs installed on all the inserts on the bottom of the playfield, it's time to start tearing down the top of the playfield. So as I mentioned, this machine hasn't been touched since March of 2015. And you can see how dirty it is. He said him and his buddies just played it and played it and played it. We're gonna get all this cleaned up, new colored rubbers, and it's gonna look like brand new again. All right, the first couple screws off tearing this playfield down. I better get busting because I got about 15 more hours staring me in the face. Now that the two ramps are removed, I can actually get to all the parts underneath. I put my small screws and metal parts in separate cups to keep them separated. It also makes it easy when I'm using evaporust to get all the oxidation off of them, as I can just fill individual cups and drain them as needed. Now that I've got all the plastics off the machine, they're into the wash tank so I can get 15 years of dirt off of them and everything cleaned up. All right, one last go around to show you how filthy this playfield is. Take a good look, because it's not going to be there for long. All right, now it's time to sit back and relax and watch me knock all the ugly off this playfield. There's 4 targets on this machine that take a real beating from the ball slamming into them non-stop. We're going to get these old ripped up decals off of here and replace them with new ones. Now comes the fun part. I get to start adding all the colored LEDs and colored rubbers to the top of the playfield to make this thing pop. These colored rubbers are specifically formulated polyurethane, which hold up much better than regular rubber and look much better as well. Adding some colored rubber post also enhances the game nicely. All right, so we got the playfield completely cleaned down. We got it polished up. We got new rubbers on it and new bulbs. Also got the plastics all clean and ready to go, but now we're gonna put these ramps in the wash tub, get them all cleaned up nice and shiny, put these in the plastics back on, and be done with this playfield. All right, now we're down to the final assembly. We'll get the cleaned up plastics put back on, pop bumper caps, and some wire forms. Okay, now we're down to the last plastic, so we'll get it installed, tighten up the lock nuts, and then we'll move on to getting the apron put back on. All right, well, we got the ramps all cleaned up, but you can see there's some haze down the middle where the ball's rolled. Also got a little on the larger ramp. You can see it there in the reflection. But anyway, we'll get these cleaned up and all that polished out, nice and clear again, get the ramps back on. And while we're at it, I took the original clear dingy post that were on the large ramp, and we're gonna replace it with new clear post and green rubbers. Make it look a little bit nicer. It's back to some good old elbow grease. Time to bust out the rag and the Novus 2 and polish these ramps back to crystal clear again. Now I can get the new post and rubbers put back on the ramp along with the metal hardware, and then it's time to reinstall the ramps. And don't forget to plug all the wires from the ramps back together underneath the playfield. Now it's time to light the playfield up in the back and under the flippers, so I'm installing some 12-volt EL wire to help light everything up. All right, now that I have this playfield completely finished, I'm going to move up to the head and get the color LCD display installed, the colored speaker light kit, and I've got some mirrored acrylic artwork that's going to go in where the speaker grill is that has all 4 characters of South Park on it. That's really going to look cool. Now, when this game came in, it was locked on a ball feature, and I couldn't get in the menu system to do any of the LEDs on the Playfield. So we had to buy a new Rotten Dog driver board here for the display. Also bought a new ribbon cable, and that took care of the problem. So now we can move this over to the color LCD display and get everything installed. I've installed so many color displays over the years, I could do it in my sleep. But that's not going to do the job for me, so I better get to tackling this thing. Alright, so at this point, I couldn't figure out why this display wasn't just lifting right off of this speaker panel. I thought maybe there was another screw attached that I had missed because I didn't want to break the glass on the display. Turns out it was the foam surround around the display that was stuck to the plexiglass window. But we're replacing that anyway. I really love installing these speaker light kits. They really balance out the color between the display and speakers on these black speaker panels. A little electrical tape to keep the plugs from separating, and voila, they look great. All right, so when I took the clear display shield off to put the new color DMD in, I noticed that the old one had a lot of leftover residue from where the foam was, so that wasn't gonna cut it. So I bought a new piece. We'll peel the plastic off of this one, get it installed. That way that $500 color DMD will look gorgeous shining through a crystal clear piece of acrylic. Another thing we're going to install is an NV RAM. That way we can get rid of the battery holder that's in here, and this will keep memory forever for the lifetime of this pinball machine. And then the last upgrade we're gonna do is we got brand new flipper mechanisms, new coils, pawls, everything. So
on one of his flippers, the coil stop right here, one of the screws was broken off down into the plate. So by the time I added up all the parts in a flipper rebuild, it was only a little bit more money to just buy brand new mechanisms and start from scratch. So we're gonna get these installed, hit the 2 solder joints on the leaf switches and the coils, and this will be a brand new flipper build.
It seems nothing's easy when working on these pinball machines. I have to take the Playfield supports off just to get into the areas where I'm working on the flippers. Before I can install the new flipper mechanisms, I have to unsolder 4 wires from each side, 2 from the coil and 2 from the end of stroke switch. Check out those new flipper mechanisms and coils. This thing is gonna play like a brand new machine again. I'll resolder the 8 wires back on, and this job is done. All right, now that we got the flippers all taken care of, it's time to put the color display in the head, so let's get to it. I'll get the new piece of acrylic reinstalled so everything looks crystal clear when looking at that $500 color display.
Once I get all the wires plugged back in, I can install the color code for the new display. I'll select the graphics pattern that I like, save the changes, and we're good to go.
All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take these inner arc blades and get rid of some of the ugly on the insides of the cabinet. So let's go ahead and get these installed.
Even though the backing on these arc blades is removable, sometimes it's kind of tricky. So I split the backing into two pieces, get it into place, and then remove the other half to finish the installation. This makes it much easier. I'll put two new custom designed scorecards on the apron and drop in the 5 new shiny polished balls that I'm sure Chef would really appreciate.
Well, after 2 full days of work, we finally got this South Park finished and ready to take back to the customer. I installed a color display, speaker light kits, full LEDs in the inserts, colored rubbers, and some inner arc blades. The last minute, I put a nice decal on the speaker surround to balance out all the color and get rid of some of the black. So the only thing we have to do now is play a game.
Hello there, children.
Hey, Dad.
What are we doing here?
Come on, we gotta save the children.
Oh no, super spot puppet.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Hooray!
Okay, people, move along. That's good, dude. Just calm down. That's good, dude. Just calm down.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Hooray!
I will never play pinball again.
Well, there you have it, a 25-year-old 1999 Sega South Park pinball machine. As mentioned before, the customer bought this machine brand new in the box in 1999, but it sure didn't look like that when he brought it to me. So I did what I do best. I knocked the ugly off the machine, added a few tasteful mods, and now it looks and plays like new again. I got a call about a week after he took delivery on the machine and couldn't thank me enough for how nice it looked and how much his kids enjoyed playing it again. Well, that wraps up another episode here at Pinball Pimp headquarters, and as Cartman would say, kick ass! Until next time, keep on flipping, pimp out. If you'd like to see more pinball craziness, be sure to like, tag, share, and follow me at Pinball Pimp.